Welcome to Izumi YouTube Graduate School. The topic today is Afghanistan at the crossroads. What makes Taliban back in power? First of all, I'd like to explain the three major jargons. It's Sharia. Sharia is a religious law forming part of Islamic tradition. Sharia, it's a little bit different from our civil law, but we should know what Sharia means. And Taliban is a student and seekers who refers to itself as Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. And Mujahideen or Mujahideen, it's a plural form of Mujahideen. It's a kind of the Islamic guerrilla, and these three jargons should be known. And here, Afghanistan and China, the Uzbek, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan, and Iran, and Pakistan, and India. These are the neighboring countries of Afghanistan. Then Afghanistan is a crossroad, or the gateway to East and West, Asia and Europe. Let's see brief history of the Afghanistan. As I said earlier, Afghanistan is a gateway between Asia and Europe. And around 18th century, 18th century, Afghanistan is recognized as a single country, and by 1870, after the area had been invaded by various Arab conquerors, Islam has taken a root. Then the Afghanistan might be considered to be Islamic country. And 19th century, Britain tried to invade or annex Afghanistan, and they have three major wars. Britain failed to beat Afghanistan, and Afghanistan get the independent 1921. Then Afghanistan is got independent by beating Britain in 1921. In 1956, Khrushchev agreed to help Afghanistan, and two countries became close allies. 1973, the Khan overthrew the last king, and Khan abolished monarchy, and he called himself president, and he called Afghanistan Republic of Afghanistan. And then finally monarchy system was abolished, and they established a friendly relation with USSR, Soviet Union. In 1979, the USSR invaded Afghanistan to bolster the faltering communist regime. Barack Obama becomes prime minister. That comes from the inner power struggle of the Afghanistan Communist Party. In 1984, the Saudi Islamist Osama bin Laden make a first documented trip to Afghanistan to help fighters against Soviet Union. In 1986, the Mujahideen was received arms from US, Britain, and China by Pakistan. Mujahideen, as I said earlier, is Islamic guerrilla who engage in jihad. It's a holy war. Then the Mujahideen, as long as the Mujahideen, the Osama bin Laden belongs to the one of members of Mujahideen. Well, 1988, the Osama bin Laden and other Islamists formed a group of the Al-Qaeda and against the Soviet Union the occupation. And 1984, US, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Soviet Union agreed or reached the peace agreement. Well, then 1995, the Islamic regime, Taliban, rise to the power, and because of the exhausted by years of drought, famine, and war, because they have to, even during Soviet Union occupation in Afghanistan, they have civil war, and in addition to that, they have drought, famine. Then the people in Afghanistan seek the peaceful daily life. Then the Taliban get the popularity among Afghanistan who suffered from those devastated situations. But the Taliban discriminate women, and they are requested fully veiled and aren't allowed go alone. In 1997, Taliban publicly executed the Nabadiran, an ethnic group in north under the Massoud Northern Alliance, and southern and armed in party in Hamid Karzai continued to battle Taliban's for the control of the country. Well, 1998, following Al-Qaeda's bombing of 2 American embassies, the President Clinton ordered cruise missile attack against the Bin Laden training camp, but the attack missed the Saudi and other leaders of the terrorist group. In 2000, the Osama bin Laden widely believed to be hiding in Afghanistan, where he is cultivating thousands of the followers in terrorist training camp. The United States demands that bin Laden be extradited to stand trial for embassy's building. But the Taliban declined to extradite bin Laden. September 11, 2001, hijackers commandeered for commercial airplane and crashed them into the World Trade Center. Anyway, September 11 took place. October 7, 2001, the Taliban turned down the bin Ladens, and the US and British forces launched the air attack against the targets of Afghanistan. And Taliban proclaimed they are ready for jihad. But December 7, 2001, Taliban fighters abandoned their final stronghold, and Taliban's Afghanistan has totally ended. October 2004, presidential election was held, and Karzai was elected with 55% of the vote. And 2011, US forces overtake a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, and killed Al-Qaeda's leader Osama bin Laden on May 2nd local time. September 2014, Ghani became president, and December 2014, NATO official ends its combat mission, and US-led NATO troops remain to just train and advise Afghan forces. The February 2019, US and Taliban signed the agreement on peace deal that will serve as preliminary terms for the US withdrawal from the country by May 2021. April 2021, Biden announces aim to complete US troops withdrawal by September 11, August 15. This year, Afghanistan government collapsed as the Taliban takes over the Kabul. It's quoted by PBS news outlet. Well, these explain how difficult to understand what the Afghanistan looks like. They have complicated character, complicated history. It's really Afghans' diversity, but still they have universality of the problems. Well, the Taliban, August 15, got the victory against the occupation led by American-led NATO forces, but the challenges ahead remains as it is. Nobody expect what will happen in Afghanistan. Well, August 29, Sunday, 10 to 11, and 20 to 23, we have a discussion about Afghanistan at the crossroads. What makes Taliban back in power? We welcome you to this discussion. This concludes today's discussion on YouTube. Thank you for your listening to our discussion.